Hello, everyone. I want to say good morning, good evening, everyone. How are you doing today? Um, welcome to another interesting episode of the Growth Sunday that we normally have every Sunday. And the idea of the Growth Sunday is just to help us to learn things that make us better people as members of the hub, of members of Creation Hub, the Wealthy Professionals Network. This period we've been looking at the currencies of life and how to use them, or the currencies of life, and how to use them to make progress, how to use them to move yourself forward. Okay, that has been our focus of interest lately. So I want to believe that those of you who have been joining in, you have been getting value. Um, you have been getting value from the conversation, and for those people who have not been joining, I also want to, for those people who have not been joining, I hope you have been catching up, right? I hope you've been catching up with the conversation afterwards. So, welcome. I don't know who is live. If you're live, you can let me know that you're live with me, and let me know where you're watching it from so that I could also say hello to you. Okay. So, tonight we are looking at another important currency of life, and that is the currency of energy. Okay, the currency of energy. So the currencies of life, like I said in the introduction, come with acronyms, and it come in acronym, and that acronym is TEAMS. TEAMS. Okay, TEAMS. So, and the idea is that these things are there for you to take advantage of them to work your way upwards. Just like your TE, like in your business, if you have team members in your business, okay, the idea is that the team members will help you to do more. They will help to save you time. They will help you to make progress. They will help you to move faster, right? That is the idea of having teams. So, in the same way, that is the idea of having the currencies of life work in your favor, or instituting the currencies of life in your favor, right? They are meant to help you move upwards. And the first one is the most important. The first one is the most important. That is the currency of time. Okay. And we look at that the other time in our previous class. We said that time is so important because it is the unit of life. Okay. It is a unit of life. So if you're wasting time, you're actually wasting life. That is why you find out that successful people don't waste their time. They don't waste their time, and they don't accept or tolerate people wasting their time. So if you try to waste their time, they will always, push you aside and move on to what they want to get. Okay. And we also said that when your time is up, you're done. Whatever be your mission, whatever be your purpose here on earth is over the moment your time is up. So if you're still alive, it means there's still time for you, and it's believed that you still have something to do. You still have some relevance, some relevant contribution to make in the world. Okay. So that's why you must take it seriously, and don't be in the business of wasting your time or wasting other people's time, because that is a form of death. Okay. All right. So today we are looking at energy. Okay. The question now is, what is energy? Energy is the ability to do things, ability to get work done. That is what science has defined the energy to be: ability to get work done. So that's life force that is in you, that helps you to move, that helps you to go for things, that helps you to show up, that helps you to create activities. That is called energy. And everyone needs a decent amount of energy. To be able to make progress in this life, you need a decent amount of energy. You must be someone who is energetic. Okay. If you look very well, you find out that successful people who are getting things done, people who are producing results, they always have energy. They always, when it comes to their pace, they work fast. When it comes to doing things, they do things fast. When it comes to they just have that bubbling energy around them. While those people who are not who really don't have a lot going on in their lives, you find out that they are sluggish. They walk with, they walk with this slow motion. They don't have energy in their voice. They don't have energy in their movement. They don't have energy in their gaits, right? Their steps are weak and all of that. So if you need to move forward, you need to train your energy. Okay? You need to train your energy. Now, you need to understand also that when you don't invest in your energy, you will always run out of energy. Okay? When you don't invest in your energy, you will always run out of energy. And that is why I always advocate for physical activities. When you do a lot of physical activities, what you're doing actually is that you are warming up your energy, your energy reserve. You're just like a car. Okay, a car needs energy to move. Now, when you don't start the car and put the car in motion, the car will not be able to move. That's the same thing with your body. Okay, if you're not regularly starting your body and putting your body in motion, there is no way your body is going to be able to move. And if you don't start the car for a long time, one day you will come to start the car and the car won't be able to move. And that's also what happens to people. We find out that people don't engage in physical activities, they don't work out, they don't train their body, they don't do anything physical. And then one day they just try to stand up and find out they can't stand. They try to stretch properly, they find out that they can't stretch. They find out that this part of the body is paining them, the other part is paining them. They can't walk fast anymore because their knees hurt and all of that. It's because of the fact that you have not been warming up your energy engine. You have not been warming your engine for a long time, and now it's like the engine is knock, right? The engine has gone out of use because it has not been put in use for a very long time. So, as someone who is trying to create a life of impact, you must learn how to exercise yourself. You must learn how to exercise your body. You must learn how to put yourself in motion from time to time, because that is how you keep yourself active, right? That's how you keep yourself warm. And when you keep yourself warm, it becomes easy for you to start yourself when you need it. I mean, you don't really understand how hectic the life of those people you envy is. I'm sure, so many of you here know Tony Lumelu. You will go and watch his Instagram stuff. You will look at his Instagram stories and, oh man, I wish I could be like this man. He's in Paris now, he's in Italy tomorrow. Do you think that's easy? Have you tried traveling before? Traveling looks interesting. Traveling looks like fun, but traveling is not fun. Traveling takes a lot of energy. Flying time takes a lot of energy. You've heard of jet lag, right? You have jet lag. You move from you move from one continent to another continent. You move from one country to another country. Your body is constantly resetting, because immediately you move across time zones, your body will reset to adapt to that time zone, because the time is different. When you sleep here will not be when you will sleep in the other country, because the time is different, right? When it's night, probably here you're used to night, and then you travel to the other side. When your body is supposed to be shutting down, is actually when your body is coming alive, because you're in the day over there. This thing requires a lot of energy. It is until you begin to do it, that's when you find that this life is not really as interesting as you thought. It looks good on camera. It looks good when you're looking at it from afar. But when you start living the life yourself, you find out that it is not easy. That's why you see a lot of all these high active business executives, sports celebrities, and all of that. They are constantly high, right? They are constantly high because they have not over time learned how to activate their engines through physical activities. If you look at Tony Lumelu is always active, always working out, always doing yoga. Why do you think he's doing those things? He's doing those things to be able to activate his engine, such that when he needs to move, his body will not shut down on him, right? You need energy. You need energy. So if you don't activate your body, if you don't put your body in constant use, you are going to lose it. You also need to understand that you need energy to live your purpose. Okay, you need energy to live your purpose. If you have time but don't have energy, your life is going to be very miserable. I'll say that again. If you have time but don't have energy, your life is going to be very miserable. You're going to see things you're supposed to do, but you just cannot get to them. You will see places you will see places you're supposed to be at, but you won't just be able to get there because you don't have the energy to get there, even though you still have time. That is why sickness, when a person falls sick and stays sick for a very long period of time, what happens to the person is that he loses energy even though he still has time. So these two currencies of life are very important. Time, if you have time, right? If your time runs out but you still have energy, that's when you say, oh, somebody died young. A person that dies young is a person that still has energy because he's still pretty young, but his time is over. And it's painful. And at the same time, it's also painful to see someone that has time but doesn't have energy. That's why it's always an eyesore for you to see a young person who cannot carry himself. Like it is very irritating. It's very irritating. I remember when we were growing up, there was this girl that was, close, that was within the compound. She was always an eyesore to see her walk around. She carries herself like she's pregnant. She drags her feet, drags her. Simple thing that you ask her to do. In fact, there was even a girl that came to live with me here once. That one was horrible, right? She couldn't carry herself. She was always sluggish. Something that you can do in 10 minutes, she'll do it in 1 hour because, it was appalling to behold. It was annoyingly disinteresting to see a young girl of 20 behaving or moving like a woman of 85, right? So you need to put your energy in place because you need your energy to live your purpose. If you run out of energy when you still have time, you are going to have a very miserable experience. So that's why I see all these young boys that are doing a lot of things, wasting their energy on women and all of that. What's going to happen is that by the time they are later in life, they are going to pay for it because they will have things they should do. They will have activities they should conduct. They will have a decent amount of their purpose that they should focus on, but they can't get it done. That's why some people cannot sit on a task for a very long time because they don't have energy. Every time they say, oh, I'm weak, I'm just tired. Oh, my body is so weak. It's because of the fact that you do not have your energy engine is not constantly warmed. It has not been constantly warmed over time. Okay. Also, you need to understand that you cannot also be strong forever. Just the way you cannot have time forever, you cannot also be forever young. That is also something that you should be considering when it comes to the use of your energy. You should understand that you cannot be forever strong. Okay? You can't be forever young, is in terms of time, but you can also be forever strong. You're going to begin to feel weak. You're going to, as you age, you will not be 80 and have the energy of a 20-year-old person. Okay, the amount of distance that a 20-year-old person will cover in an hour, an 80-year-old person cannot cover it in the same amount of time. Okay, so as you grow older, you're going to become low in energy. You will not be strong forever. So the point is that you should constantly be mindful of that. That is why it's important that you work on things that help you to preserve energy. That's why it's important that you don't waste your energy. Okay, you don't waste your energy on things that drain you. You don't engage yourself in things that drain you because whenever you're drained, right, you are low on energy. When you say, oh, I feel drained, what are you saying exactly? What you're saying exactly is that you feel low on energy. Okay, and that is why I talk about energy vampires. Energy vampires are those people that you meet and you have conversations with them, and after talking with them, you just feel like virtue has left you. These are energy vampires. You should take them away from your life. It could be a colleague, it could be a colleague at work, it could be a church member, it could be your neighbor, it could even be a family member. Anybody that you have in life that when you're done talking with the person, you feel like virtue has left you, is not someone you should be talking to often. It does not matter who the person is, right? Because this person is sucking your life force. Okay. Also, activities that sap you of energy. Have you listened to bad news before? If you listen to bad news consecutively for an extended period of time, you will feel low on energy. I don't know if I'm alone, right? If probably you go on all those social media handles, all those blogs, or you listen to news, what happens is that you will always feel low on energy. That is why I feel very sorry for people that wake up in the morning and one of the first things they do is to turn on their radio, because the radio is filled with bad news, right? The radio, the news, the television, and all these things, they are filled with bad news, because bad news is what makes headlines. Good things don't make headlines. If I say now that somebody got married, for example, right? You can see the buzz that Bella is pulling now. Bella and Jarvis are pulling because they got married, because they are celebrities, yeah? Now, if it was a news of Bella and Jarvis divorcing, the buzz will be 100 times hotter than this. You will see hot takes everywhere, different stories, different agenda, different narrations will be coming up. But because of the fact that it is a wedding, by this time next week, it has died out. Everybody has moved on. But if it were to be bad news, it go still the hot, they go, right? So a lot of people are happily married, a lot of people are enjoying their marriages, but because of the fact that the bad marriages are constantly put in forward, they are constantly amplified, people now begin to feel like marriages don't work anymore. Marriages work, man. Marriages work. Like in my own circle, like in my circle, in my church, in my community, in my compound, I've not seen anybody that divorced. Nobody has divorced. Nobody has left his partner. But if you were to judge by social media narratives and all of that, you feel like all the married people are suffering, all the married people have left their spouses. So you need to protect yourself from those things that suck your energy. Okay, those things that suck your energy, they are energy vampires. And um hello, I hope you guys can still hear me, right? I want to believe that you can hear me and that I'm audible enough. Please let me know in the comment section if you're with me and if you can hear me, please. All right. So you need to protect your energy. You need to protect your life force. Protect your life force. Protect your life force from things that take it from you. I want you to go and do a little bit of research on sex energy, right? Sex energy. Napoleon Hill talked about it in his book, in one of his books. I think his Think and Grow Rich or something like that. And see what the research was all about. It will help you, okay? It will help you to understand how to put yourself together, put your life force together. Sex energy. A lot of young people are really wasting their life through that means. Okay, a lot of people are really wasting their life through that means, because the way they are indulging in it, the way they are going about it, the energy were supposed to use to produce things, the energy they were supposed to use to live their purpose, the energy they were supposed to use to do their work, is what they are using to satisfy women. Okay, that is one of the pandemics of the moment. That is how young people are losing their strength, how young people are losing their energy. That's why in the book of Proverbs, there's a portion that says, do not lose your strength to women. Okay, do not lose your strength to women. Now, it does not mean that it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have sex if it is appropriate. You're married, okay? For example, you're allowed, permitted to do it. Even when you're married, you will find out that you cannot do it every day. That is one of the ironies of life. People who are not married are envying married people, thinking that they just snack themselves every day. Okay, they just think that I'm married, that woman, they must be climbing each other every day. That's not how it works. Unless if it is poor people that don't have what they are doing, right? But if you have this guy calling me, man, I'm busy now. All right, so sorry about that. Yeah, so you need to protect your life force. You need to be sure that you are using your energy the right way, putting your energy in the right things. Okay, anything that you do that makes you feel weak afterwards is not something that you should pursue. It's something you should eliminate in your life, or something you should reduce. Okay, either you reduce it or you eliminate it in your life. Okay, so it's important. It's important. It's important. Why are we talking about the currencies of life? Because they are supposed to help you, and we're not going to be here forever. Okay, so you need to know what these teams are, what the components of this team, how you can deploy them, how you can appropriately use them. You need to understand that. And you also need to understand that when it comes to your energy, one of the things you can do is to find, when you eliminate energy vampires from your life, things that suck you of your life force, things that suck you of your energy, right? Begin to introduce activities that refresh you, activities that replenish you, activities that make you feel better, activities and things that make you feel strong. So I talked about physical workout. You could also take vitamins. Okay, vitamins are also essential in replenishing you with energy. Okay, do things that make you happy. Do things that make you happy. Okay, that is why when you go for a concert, or you go for you indulge yourself in a kind of healthy hobby, at the end you feel refreshed. Okay, also learn to rest. Resting is also one of the place. um you can't see me. I can see myself. Oh. Please confirm if you can see me. Somebody saying that she can't see me. um but I think you're supposed to see me. So please let me know, if you can see me in the comment section. So yeah, do engage in hobbies, engage in hobbies that um refreshes you, replenishes you. Go to places, go to nature. Okay, go to nature because nature helps to replenish you. If you go to a garden and sit there, after sitting there you will come out and feel replenished. Okay, Lagos is not really helping matters for those of us who are living in Lagos. But if you're living in a place like Abuja, or living up north like Jos and all of that, you will always feel refreshed. But if you live in Lagos, you will always feel stressed. So what happens is that if you live in a place like Lagos, you have to be more intentional and more deliberate in designing how you experience your life, because the environment is not structured to help you feel refreshed. If you live in Lagos, you're always agitated by default. You're always supposed to be agitated. You're always supposed to be tense. You're always supposed to be on the move. You're always supposed to be, fighting one fire or the other. That is how Lagos works. Unlike a place like Abuja, most times, every time I enter Abuja, I always feel refreshed. The place is cool. The place is quiet. There are green areas. You go to a compound, you see trees. You see gardens by the roadside. People are not rushing to anywhere. People are taking it easy and moving at their own pace. Very beautiful place. A very beautiful experience to have, and a very beautiful way to replenish your energy. Okay, so indulge in those kind of activities so that you can fill your energy tank. Now, I want you to picture a tank, right? I want you to know that inside of you, you carry something like a tank. And every time you do something that replenishes you, you fill up that tank. Like it's a way of filling up the tank, your energy tank. Okay? And anytime you do something that drains you, anytime you get into an argument, anytime you get into a fight, anytime you get into an environment or sit down with people who drain you, you take from that tank. Now, the balance is what determines how you feel. So if you're constantly down on energy, you're constantly feeling irritated, you're constantly feeling unrested, it simply means that your energy tank is overdrawn. People and things are constantly taken from your energy tank. Okay? But on the other hand, if you find out that you're really putting yourself together, conserving your life force, conserving your energy, right? You will find out that on the average, you will always feel bubbling, you will always feel up and about because you have a decent amount of energy reserve. Okay, so um, always feel your energy tank, and you need to understand that connection. Okay, connection again is coming up. Connection is one of the ways you feel your energy tank. If you hang out with friends, right? You hang out with friends, you guys go out, you guys laugh, you guys play, you will feel refreshed, you will feel sharp. Contribution is also another thing that makes you, that fills up your energy tank. Okay, if you do something for someone, if you do something for someone or help someone out, you will always find out that you will feel energized, you will feel strong, you will feel you will feel super cool. That's why if you volunteer for something and you go and help people that cannot say thank you to you, or you go and help people that cannot help you back, or people that cannot reward you, you will always feel a decent amount of energy, right? Afterwards, you will always feel revived, you will always feel refreshed. And creation also helps you to exercise your energy and also help you to fill your energy tank. Because if you're creating something, there's what is called creative high. Okay, there's what is called creative high. You will be active. Every part of your body will just, your brain will be thinking fast, your body is active to work and all of that. For example, I write early in the morning. And one of the things I notice is that when I'm writing in the morning, my brain is always sharp. I'm connecting the dots, connecting ideas, sentences are coming to me easily. I can sit still for a longer period of time, right? Because of the fact that I am creating something, I'm doing something creative. It's also the same thing with when you're probably brainstorming idea. You see people brainstorm idea for a whole day. And I ask, like, where are you getting all this energy from? It's because they are in the creation zone, right? Being in the creation zone helps you to Being in the creation zone helps you to fill your energy tank and um helps you to stay up to date. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you. I just always like to keep it simple so that you can have time to go do other things. That's the size of what I wanted to share with us in terms of your life force. Okay, your life force and how your life force of energy and how you use it and why it matters. Okay, so I'm expecting that as we move into this new month of August, you are going to be more intentional and deliberate in how you engage your energy. Don't give your energy away. Okay? Do not give your energy away by engaging in things that don't serve you, or by engaging in things or with people that constantly drain you. Don't do that. Try to put yourself in places where you're constantly refueled. So do an energy audit. Okay, do an energy audit and find out things and people that have been sapping your energy so that you can cut them off, and also figure out the activities and the things and the people and places that help you feel refreshed. Okay, some of you are working in a place where you go to work every day, come back tired. Do you also know that there are some people that go to work and they come back refreshed even though they have been working from morning? That's why all these tech spaces are designed to be creative, to be beautiful in nature, so as to inspire you as a worker. If you go to a creatively designed space, you can stay there and work for a very long time without feeling distracted. But if you go to a poorly designed work environment, after a short period of time, you begin to feel, you begin to feel unmotivated. That's why if you go to some places, you see some people, they have flowers on their table, they have some kind of, they have some kind of designs and all of that in the office and all. They have a different amount of lighting in the space because lighting helps to, fill up your energy tank. So these are things that you can do to help yourself pull yourself together. Because here is the thing: you need energy to live a purposeful life. Okay, you cannot do what God sent you here to do if you don't have energy. If you're constantly running out of energy, you're constantly getting tired, you can't move for long, you can't stay on things for long, you're definitely going to achieve less than what you're supposed to achieve. So the charge for this day and the charge as we move forward is for you to begin to fill up your energy tank, fill your life with the things, the activities that help you become more energy filled, and reduce the activities that take energy from you. Okay, so that's the size of this. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope you found value in it. I hope you found something useful that you can use. Um, if you have any question, you can come to the group and ask the question, and of course, I'm going to be there to answer you. And if you have any comments, you can also make it in the group. I'll be there to answer you. And if you're interested in any of our programs, like joining the School of Money and Investment, you're also welcome. You can ask for details, and definitely you are going to be attended to. Okay, so that's the size of this conversation. I hope you found it useful. I hope it was impactful to you, and I hope that you're going to use what we have shared here to help yourself in some way. Okay, so at the end of the day, what matters is not what you hear, what matters is what you do with what you hear. So I pray that the Lord will help us. I pray that the Lord will empower us. And more importantly, I pray that the Lord will enable us to be able to use the things that we hear, the things that we learn every day to move ourselves forward. So that when we meet at the top, so that we all can meet at the top. And when we do, we'll be grateful that our path crossed with each other. Okay? So thank you very much and have a blessed week, have a beautiful week, and have a beautiful month. Cheers.